Hey everyone, Victor here with the Coffee and Experts. You know that Digital App Solutions loves to talk about different markets, different places, and today, especially in 2025, where most of us want to relax, go to nice places, and see different destinations, I brought myself Janet Bava here, the CCO at Windstar Cruises. Janet, how are you doing today?
Hi, how are you, Victor? Thank you for having me.
I'm super fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Janet, we were just having a conversation about the things that were happening in LA, the things that were happening in Portugal here last year. But I want people to first understand why we were talking about it. So you are currently based in LA, right? And
Yes.
you were safe from the fires, which is great to
Thank
know.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. But I also know that you are thinking about moving, expanding, growing everything else. I already know, for example, one yacht of yours is being produced right here in Portugal, and I'm gonna see it tomorrow morning. Gonna take a coffee inside of the cruise, just kidding. But tell us about who you are. Who is Janet? You've been in the cruising, is that a word? The
Yeah,
cruising
cruise
market?
industry. Yeah,
Yeah.
cruise
Okay,
industry. Yeah.
great. Great. So you've been in the cruising industry for a while. And again, a lot of people, especially after COVID, in this digital era, they want to travel. They want to
Yes.
grow abroad, but they're not looking for those quick flights through Ryanair here in Europe, for example. They want real experience. They want to change their lives from an experience. And I know that you help people do just that. Please tell us more about it.
Okay, so first and foremost, you talked about, yes, I am based in LA, but I was raised in Miami, the cruise
Okay.
capital of the world. So that is
Amazing.
where my passion and for cruising began in Miami. And so, a role in an amazing job brought me here for a river cruise company that was based out of Calabasas. So I moved my family here
Okay.
November 2018 in the middle of the Woolsey fires. So I
Oh,
moved here.
wow.
You were talking about ashes in your home. I had ashes in the home that I had just rented, which is eventually the neighborhood that I was able to, then live permanently with my children and been here for
Okay.
the last 6 years. But
Amazing.
about a year ago, I had the amazing opportunity to go back home to Miami, which was a huge driver. I really miss my family, my friends,
Of
and
course.
my parents are getting older. It was a personal decision because I was at an amazing company in an amazing role, but I really wanted to go back home. My husband, who's Italian, still worked out of Miami, and so the commute was from LA to Miami was taking a toll on him.
Yeah, I
So
imagine. I
when
imagine.
so when Betsy O'Rourke, who was my predecessor and she was the CCO here for many many years, decided to retire, and I had the opportunity to take on her role. I had big shoes to fill, but I'm very proud that I did take the role because now this role is taking me back to Miami. Windstar Cruises is headquartered in Miami. They actually
Great.
used to be headquartered in Seattle, but obviously the president, Christopher Prelog, wanted to be surrounded by other cruise companies. There was a lot of benefits for this cruise company to be relocated to Miami, the cruise capital of the world, and that's where I'm heading. Hopefully this summer I'll be able to relocate my family back home.
Just
I
in time for GTA 6 to release. I'm not sure if you're a gamer, but GTA is such a big thing, and GTA will take place in Miami. A lot of people from all over the world will experience Miami for the first time.
I do not do gaming, but I have two teenage boys, ages 14 and 17, and I'm
They are
trying
looking
that
for
should be a
GTA.
big draw, yes, for them. I did mention
They,
that to them.
yes, yes, they are looking for GTA. I'm sure of it, as I was when I was 15, and it's not a GTA program, so let's not talk about it.
But
But
that's
the
okay. But I
move,
know everything is connected. So, but to
yes,
answer your question about, the small people wanting to travel, that's exactly why I'm in the travel business. How wonderful it
great.
is that I'm in the role of making people's dreams come true. And at Windstar Cruises, as a small ship cruise brand, not all cruises are created equal. You have these
Of
big,
course.
massive cruise brands, and then you have small ship cruising, more intimate experiences that allow you to see more of the world, more destinations. And so I have a role that allows me to sell dreams and once in a lifetime experiences and tell the story to people about how, they can travel the world and meet new people and
Sure.
explore new cultures. And in a very convenient way, you unpack once and you can see multiple destinations. And that in itself is pretty fascinating as a
It
product and
is.
an experience to offer when people are considering to visit a destination.
Yeah, no, that's actually a Pretty great intro. Congratulations. Pretty well done. Because again, yeah, that's the dream. You're living the dream. You're making
I am
sure that,
living the dream.
and you're selling something nice. You're not taking from the poor. You're not,
No,
again, everything's perfect. Well done. Congratulations. Really
thank
happy for you. We can
thank
see in
you.
your smile how happy you are. How long have you been in this market, Janet?
Okay, so I don't want to age myself, but I will because I'm okay with that. But over 20 years, I started right out of college. I studied marketing and
Okay.
international business. I honestly, being in Miami and being raised in Miami and having my first cruise experience at the age of 15 with my family and friends, I fell in love with cruising. And so I had a few jobs in the pharmaceutical industry and very regulated. And so for me,
I know.
yeah, so it was a great experience, honestly, for me to learn direct marketing, which was the role that I then got at this mass market cruise brand. So it was a good way for me to understand the marketing realm and world. But at the end of the day, when I landed my first cruise job, that's when, honestly, it was for me just, a great entry into this world that I've now been in over 20 years. And so I've always actually been a marketer. I'm known as a marketer in the
Okay.
industry. I grew up doing only marketing. And so for me, that was a benefit, but that's also as a very ambitious person, worked really hard to, grow up through the corporate ladder. I was really excited about this role where I now oversee not only marketing, but sales, revenue management, itinerary planning, and the contact center that supports both the guests who sail with us and the travel advisors who book us.
I see. And I do know that you're also taking a lot of consideration into the customer experience side of things, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and
Yeah, well,
everything that we do.
I mean, again, it's not, I even imagine so because first, we're not talking about in AirPods, right? You're talking
No.
about when you consider the worst scenario ever, people might be afraid to travel through water.
Yeah.
Right? It is a reality. People get
Yeah.
scared to travel by plane, by water. And then I understand that
Get
the part of
seasick.
the experience being sick, seasick, correct? So and that's actually a pretty nice point. In terms of seeking, the experience itself. How is it once anybody is onboarded and you are sailing across the ocean? You do have to take into consideration their experience over there as well. But you are in a space where things can go wrong and maybe you don't have too much control over it, right?
Yes.
But this is business, this is market, this is everything in our lives. So tell us a little bit more about it. Right
Yeah.
now, the customer, the experience of them all, how are you overlooking it?
Yes, so you're right. We're a very customer centric company, right? And whether that is the experience that we're delivering to our guests and travel advisors prior to arriving to the cruise, so everything from planning a trip to booking the trip and preparing for the trip before they come on board, to then we have a COO, a head of operations that's managing the
Hmm.
entire product delivery. So everything that we marketed and told you, the ship and the crew and the staff make sure that they deliver an exceptional experience to these guests so they can keep coming back over and over again. And so our goal is to attract what you said, the right audience. We
Yes.
only have ships that are maximum 350 guests. It's not a lot of people. Times that, by 8 ships that we will have soon, it's about 80,000 passengers, in one year.
Okay.
You have brands like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and MSC that have that in not even a week. They're having that
Yeah.
many passengers, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
have you have massive cruise lines, so it's a very intimate experience. So it is, you have to find the right audience, and so because you want to match the right product to the right audience, you don't want to sell your product to somebody who's going to get seasick or who has an issue that with the experience of cruising overall or wants to spend 2 or 3 nights in one destination. Right now what we offer is 1 or 2 nights maximum overnights in
Okay.
destination. So, and usually it's maximum one night. So there is a very defined product and it's about finding the right audience for the product. And it's a pretty wide audience of people because you have people that, really love cruising and they love the ocean and they love exploring the world through the ocean. And that's me. And usually for me, a vacation requires some kind of a boat, whether that's, a small boat in the south of Italy with
Hmm.
fishing or a large, massive yacht or a sail ship. And that's with Windstar, exploring the Caribbean or the Mediterranean or Alaska or Japan or Tahiti. So it really is, you have people who love this, but they necessarily don't want to go on a big ship, right? That's not for them.
I
And
see.
so it becomes more of, okay, if you're not afraid of the water, if you're not seasick and you enjoy, a floating hotel, means of transportation, where on board you're going to have all the amenities of home. It's a beautiful suite and a beautiful stateroom that has, all that you need, a bathroom, and then beautiful dining experience. We're the official cruise line of the James Beard Foundation. So food is a big part of traveling. You go to travel and you want to see the um, you know,
It is true.
culinary experience of the countries that you visit. And so on board, we extend that on board and have that ability. So, we really are all about ensuring an optimal guest experience at every touch point. And whether that's a digital output, when, attracting guests to come and land on our website to learn about our product, or that's a face-to-face interaction, a salesperson talking, with their travel agent and to their travel agent clients about the cruise at a conference, at an event, at a cruise night. So it really is about ensuring that we attract the right audience and deliver an
Make sure.
optimal experience so that they can book our cruise and have an experience of a lifetime and keep coming back over and over again. That is truly what our objective, and in a profitable way, because we are a for-profit business, right? So,
Sure.
really ensuring that we're agile on how we do things, that we're, technology forward. There's so much technology today, and to talk to the guests how they want to be spoken to and giving them a choice. Some want to call to book, some want to book online, some have travel agents to book, they want to book through. So it's all about choice as well. And the guests today have different preferences, and ensuring that you can service these clients and these guests in the way that they want to be
First.
serviced and talked to.
And you were mentioning a limited base of customers, right? 8,000, for example, a year. So of
80,
course, 80,
80,000.
80, eighty
Yes.
thousand. Sorry,
It's okay.
80,000 a year. The 80 was a number in my mind. I promise you. I just said eight. 80,000 travelers living the
Yes.
dream.
Living the
Uh,
dream.
living the dream because you were telling all about the experience, and I was here just watching you say and thinking to myself, oh, I should definitely catch that cruise to Alaska with them. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people over here that are watching us are feeling the same. But you're talking about the customer base that you have, which I'm not gonna say without knowing, but I imagine they come from the luxury market. They are people
Mhm.
with more access to money than the usual John Doe. And these type of customers in these markets usually refer to higher expectations, right?
Yes.
Because they are paying more, they want to receive the same amount in the value of the product or the service or the
Mhm.
trip. So you already told us before they join the boat, before they step their little toes into the cruise and during it. But what about after? Once I'm home, once I'm sharing pics with my coworkers, telling them where I went with you, how amazing the food was. How do you make sure that this passion that you ignited into the customer won't fade away in the next months or so?
We make them book on board before they get off the ship on their next cruise, and we give them a really attractive offer that before
That's
they
it.
cannot get when they go shoreside. So that way, before they're getting off the ship, they're already planning their next vacation. Because I can tell you
Wow.
the worst part of the experience when they're a week on board is that last day when they're packing up to leave.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
customers do not want to go home. They want to stay another week. They wish they would have booked 2, 3 weeks on board because they had such a phenomenal experience. And so what
Wow.
we want to ensure is that we catch them right when they're on board and give them an amazing offer they cannot get anywhere else. And if they book through a travel advisor, we advise their travel advisor, hey, Janet was on board. Thank you for bringing her on board Windstar Cruises, and she's just booked a future cruise. So call her up and follow up with her. And that travel advisor gets the commission and gets to keep that revenue as well. And they're very happy with us.
Everybody's,
Everyone's
yeah.
happy. The guest is happy, the travel advisor is happy, and we're of course happy that we now have a loyal client and advocating for us, like you said. But already, what they're talking about in that dinner is about the next cruise, about the past cruise, and about the next cruise they're going to go with Windstar. That is the goal.
Again, I feel like this is a trap, and they set me for a trap to interview you, and I just want to go. I just want to have
Yeah,
those experiences.
I
And
think
this
everyone
is a
should.
really well done marketing.
Yeah, no, I think, we all work really hard. This is,
Yes.
no matter where you reside all over the world, we're all working hard to make ends meet, to be able to put roof over our heads, food in our mouths. And when you work really hard, you deserve a vacation. So that 1 week, or if you're lucky enough to have more than 1 week off a year, and you spend, like you said, your well hard earned money, you want to be able to know that you're going to have an exceptional time on board. And
Of
that's
course.
and so that's why I think we all deserve. I think we're also the generation, right, where we come from my parents were the generation that waited until they retired to do these types of epic trips.
You're right.
But we're the generation, we're like, we're not going to wait until we retire. We're taking it now. And
Yeah.
beautiful is we have Starlink, we have Wi-Fi on board our ship, so you can be in the middle of the
Oh,
ocean
that's great.
and stay connected. So we're all working off of our phones. So you can actually stay connected, and that's what we're all doing. We're still working while we're on board, or staying, for us professionals that are still working and not have the fortune of being retired, you can stay connected. And for
Yeah. Yeah.
retirees, they're staying connected with their families because when they're retired, they're spending 3, 4 weeks on board our ships. And so they don't want to, they want to keep up with their children and their grandchildren on board.
And they need that Wi-Fi data to send over tons of pictures and videos about the ocean.
And
They
post on
need that.
social media and give
Oh
all their
yeah.
friends major FOMO.
Oh, for sure. I imagine their neighbors must die whenever somebody goes to a cruising like this. The FOMO
Well, they
must
bring
hit
them
really
along.
hard.
They bring them along. We see so many people who either one they meet friends on board, right? And then they're
Mm.
like, okay, they book that cruise on board with their and go together, and that's beautiful. That community that's built on board. But then for those guests that come back, they usually bring groups. Groups are such a great, for us, it's a great growth opportunity. We're seeing so many multi-generational travels, college students with their
Hmm.
parents and grandparents. And then you're seeing groups of friends that are want to travel together. And,
Yeah.
and so we see them as well because they come back home and they say, oh, you just had an amazing experience. And they bring along more people with them. And that honestly,
Oh,
that advocacy is phenomenal for us and everyone.
yeah. What you're talking about, a lot of companies would love to have the word of mouth that you have, right?
Yes. Oh my
A
goodness.
lot of, yeah, 99% of the market would love to have it. And I imagine that some of them are watching us right now, wondering, when you have such a great experience with the customer, making sure that they are the ones referring your company to others, where does marketing fill in? Because of course it has to. You have to generate interest. Maybe you do some storytelling. Maybe you do some SEO. But overall, the idea that I'm catching here is the product itself, just like the iPhone is nowadays, sells by itself.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
have, right? You have a customer base who's so loyal. You don't need marketing. Apple doesn't do a lot of marketing, as we all know during college, because here I am, Victor, showing off my iPhone to my friends and they want to buy the next iPhone. But how is it working for you? Especially now that people are in the marketing sphere looking at AI. I don't see an application for AI at your case right now. People are thinking about AR experiences, seeing things inside their house. Doesn't fit here. So how is it working for you?
I think it does. I'm going to
Mm,
say it does, and I'll tell you why. I think both VR, virtual reality, and I think AI fits in here and in with our
great.
company and brand because we're looking at this. We have our head of IT, Jason Grant, that has joined us, and he's been a blessing since he's joined us because we're looking to innovate. And I think
Nice.
when
Shout
this
out to
comes
Jason.
up, yes, shout out to Jason. So when you have 8 ships that travel all the world, okay, and
Hmm.
they have different itineraries. And now you've just
Sure.
introduced Windstar to you. You said, I can't wait to go on Windstar. Well, where am I going to go? And
Yeah.
so you can use a machine learning to say, based on Victor's age demographic, where he wants to go, what he likes. Are you an active
Oh.
person or are you a relaxed person? Do you want to lay down at the beach and have a sun and a drink by your hand? Or do you want to go on the ATV or horseback riding on the beach, right? There's differences. And so instead of having you navigate through all the things that we have to offer, a guest experience, an optimal guest experience is that Victor lands on our website, is interacting with Windstar, and we're personalizing and recommending to him what he's going to like and matching the product. Any one of our products is amazing, but we want to match the right product to Victor. That's how we use, I would say, AI and how we're going to use AI in the future. Now, how do we use virtual reality? Let's say I talked about our travel advisors. We're at a client event. They've invited their clients and said, we want to go to Tahiti with Windstar, the French Polynesia. And one thing is you showing them a beautiful video. That's super effective, right? To inspire them. But another thing is for you to put some goggles on them and say, imagine being in Tahiti. That is an inspirational tool.
Yeah,
It's
it
not going
is.
to replace the actual experience of the cruise. You need to actually go on the cruise, right?
Sure.
So we're not in fear that the product is going to be replaced by technology. What we're going to
Oh,
use
you won't.
technology is to enhance how we inspire people and how that guest experience that we're delivering from the beginning when they first become aware of our brand until when they come and sail with us to match the right itinerary, the right destination during the right time of year. We sail year round. And so you may have kids, and so you can only travel in the summer or during the holidays. Why recommend to you something in April when you cannot go in April because your kids are in
Oh, yeah.
school? Example, just, or you're
Hmm.
retired and you don't want to go during the summer when there's usually more kids. And when I say kids, I mean college students, because usually the kids are older than teenagers when they're coming on Windstar. But it's really about that. I think it's about sometimes we're so overwhelmed by so many choices that I think we have a lot of machine learning that we can leverage to deliver a personalized experience when, people are finding out about our cruise line.
Wow. Wow. What a great answer. Great to know. I think that's the first part of it. Great to know that it can indeed help. Any other trends in the market or tech that you see that can also fit into this criteria? We mentioned AI, VR, and AR. Anything else?
I think that the digital, the self-serve, the chats, bots, people want to, people are booking travel all year round. People get excited to
Yeah.
plan their vacation. And I think becoming available 24/7, because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. And unfortunately, we're not supposed to do this, grab our phone and start
Grab our
searching.
phone. Yeah, I
But
know.
but if you're searching and you can't sleep and you want to search for Windstar and maybe we don't have a contact center that's open at that time, you should be able to find all the answers to your questions
Mm.
when you connect
Yes.
with us. And I think the trend is we are all in need of immediate information. The
True.
technology world has given us access to information immediately. And I
True.
think that agility to be able to get the information that people are looking for right away makes you a great brand these days. Get the right
What?
information, right? And giving that guest experience what they need. I think those are the trends that we're seeing. The other big trend that we're seeing is that disconnecting. Like I talked about Wi-Fi and standing.
Mm.
I was just on a webinar with a group of people from the National Health Organization, and Lisa McCarl has a group of plant-based guests that have dietary restrictions. They're very keen on living a healthy lifestyle. And when you come on board, when you think about cruise, you think about these endless buffets and lots of food.
Sure, you do.
But one of the trends that we're seeing is, people wanting their health and their mindset and refreshing that when they go and travel and disconnecting. And so, health and wellness is keen. And we're seeing a lot of that. And we're very happy to be a brand that we can offer, a place where you can disconnect from the everyday, shut off your phone and have an amazing experience, eat well, be serviced well, have your yoga classes, keep your fitness regime on board. We have expansive gyms. And so that is a huge trend that I think is we're going to see more and more. And I don't think people, connect cruise line with staying healthy and
No,
wellness,
you don't.
eating well,
Yeah,
right?
no, actually the opposite. It's you think of cruising, I'm thinking of high carb food. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of a lot of alcohol. I'm thinking of sleeping until like I'm tired of sleeping. So I do understand what you're saying. It
Yeah, so
needs to
it's not that.
change.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
we're not, and that's not a Windstar cruise, right? I think
Hmm.
again, choice. You can come and do absolutely nothing, and
Your option.
or stay connected and stay disconnected, and you can eat well. And we all need to be eating well, high quality food, because even carbs are good. Like good carbs, we
Sure.
have good carbs, right? So, and you said, and everything is in moderation, but everything is high quality food that you're putting into your system because we all want to live longer so we can enjoy more cruises, right? And more
Yeah.
experiences and travel the world more. That I think
Well,
that's the name of the game. Because if we're all working really hard right now to achieve success, what does success like to me is the ability to be able to travel the world and
it
stay
is. I
healthy
agree.
enough to enjoy it, not
I
stress
agree.
ourselves out and burn ourselves out and work ourselves out to death.
Yeah, for me, success would be being like your kids playing GTA while I'm traveling. You see, I'm not a nerd, but the Miami story. I'm really looking forward for this next game, and it is an important marketing discussion because there are already analysts talking about how GTA will be the highest earning media ever in history.
Wow.
more than
Wow.
movies, more than any TV show, music, other video games. So they are pinpointing GTA as the Oscar winning
I love
product in
it.
terms of capitalism. Yeah. So that's why
Well, I
I'm
can't wait
putting the
to tap into
conversation
that. So, if anyone listening here that has an idea how we can merge the two, Windstar Cruises with the
with
GTA world, maybe
GTA.
you come up with that, Victor. Maybe we can do
Well,
something really
no,
cool.
I'm not sure if you heard about it. Euro Truck Simulator is another game where people drive trucks. This is the game. Okay? There is no violence, no killing, no storyline. You
Yeah.
drive truck from point A to point B. It's an old game. I think it was released 10 years ago. It is still one of the most biggest success cases in terms of hiring professionals from video games.
Oh, wow.
Because what it happened was truck companies started noticing a lot of people playing Euro Truck Simulator with simulators at their houses, with steering wheel, pedals, shifts. So what they did was they put out outdoors inside of the game, just like as you're traveling with the truck, saying, "Hey, are you playing? Want to do it for real? Send an email here, send your resume, let's hire you." And it worked. So maybe you have here
Yeah.
already
I
another
can see
similar
it. I can
situation.
see it. Someone driving a captain, simulating being a captain on one of our
Can
ships.
be.
Yes, and traveling and traveling the world. I'm giving all the ideas. Now somebody who's going to execute. I'm not going to give any more ideas.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah, let's stop. I agree with you.
we're
Let's
going to
stop
stop
because
now.
I'm thinking about so many different ones that could work. So let's stop. Janet, I had so many questions lined up here, but you answered brilliantly all of them. I
Oh,
always save one for the last, which is not scripted.
okay.
Uh, Nothing here is scripted, folks, just so you know. Janet told everything that she feels, that she thinks, so nothing scripted. But this right here usually helps close the conversation. So you even told that you are not going to disclose your age, which is super fine, but you have 20 years of experience in this market, right?
And I have a 14
So,
and 70-year-old teenager. That's another clue.
okay, so we
So
can do the
clues.
math here. Just put it on ChatGPT. Janet has two kids. One is 15 and
I'm
the
sure
other
it's
is 13.
public somewhere anyways. I'm sure you guys will
Oh,
find, you don't
yeah.
have to, nowadays
Hmm.
you don't have to search far to find
No,
out.
no. But the question is, you lived a lot, especially in the cruising market. You've seen it changing, you've seen it growing. I imagine you had your fair share of bad situations happening, not because of you, but because of the market, because of everything externally. And then what I would ask you is, right now, for those who are in their 20s, 15s, those who are traveling with your cruises, but they are thinking about their future, if they want to join your market, what would you tell somebody about it? You know, what tips would you give? Would you still join the market today if you were 20
Yes,
years old?
100%.
100%. I can already see that.
Yes.
And what else can you tell these people?
I love this question, and I've joined several podcasts, and I've never been asked this question. I
Oh,
love this
nice. Great to
question.
know.
Thank you so much. So,
No, thank
I
you.
would say, and this is a perfect example. So, I went to school for marketing and international business. You said I'm living the dream. I'm living my dream job, and I started from the very
Amazing.
bottom. And I grew. You work really really hard. And as a female Latina, you
Mm.
hear, it's a really big struggle because it's a, man's world, and or it's,
Yes.
do not pay attention to any of the noise. You have,
Great.
you work really hard and you do really well and you learn from your mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes and you learn from it and you grow from it and you're going to reach what you need to reach. The other thing I wanted to talk about was actually you can also start at the ships. I never have worked on board the ships, but what I see are
Okay.
two types of people in the cruise industry. Some like me that started from corporate at a low end entry level job and position and worked my way up, and then you have people who worked on board the ship. You have Christopher Perlag, which is our president. You have Steen, which is our COO, who worked on the ship. Chris was a waiter on board our ship, and now he's president of the
Wow.
cruise line, right? And in fact,
Wow.
one day he was like, I was demoted from waiter, he's Austrian, to the dishwasher because I couldn't even speak English when I was on board and I didn't know what a bagel was. So, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what your language, what your ethnic background is, just know that there is an opportunity for you in cruising. And you have to, and it is okay to start from the bottom, because you can reach the top. And I think we have so many people in the cruise industry, not just in Windstar, which I have seen, that have been able to start from the bottom and worked really, really hard and work their way up. This industry is so beautiful that they do nurture their people, and they look, so it's a career, and it's an industry that you're going to enter into, and you're going to have the support of these companies that are part of it, because I've seen it in every single company that I've been fortunate to work for. And I've seen my friends. I grew up in this cruise industry, but I grew up with a lot of colleagues that have become my friends that are now in very high up positions in other cruise brands that
Nice.
started from the bottom as well. And after 20 years, we're still friends, and I'm so proud of them where they've reached. So please, I get a lot of LinkedIn chats. I want to work in your cruise, and I want to be a waiter. I want to be a housekeeper, or I want to be, your receptionist. How can I start at the corporate side? Wherever you start, I can tell you that if you work really hard, there's an opportunity for you to thrive and rise in this industry.
Oh,
So I hope you all are inspired by that.
well, they are. And I am. I don't even need to be inspired, and I am. You're the best, Janet. Really, really well said. I mean, I am closer to talking to my friends in Brazil. We are in a very harsh economical situation back there,
Yeah.
right? Latin America as a whole, I mean, the
The
world
world,
as a
everywhere in the
whole.
world. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
even the grand United States of America, and, we're struggling
exactly,
here too. There's a lot of poverty here too. And we're all trying to
exactly.
make ends meet and make it. There's a lot of people, immigrants, that are coming from their countries to America or to Europe. We're all immigrants in a sense, because every immigrant since the very beginning of times, since Columbus discovered America, they were looking for
Totally.
opportunities and new lands and new world, right?
They
So
were.
we all are. We're
They
looking for
were.
that
And
opportunity.
yes, and them knowing from you that it is a possibility, I think it will for sure make some people smile from here.
I
Well,
hope
Janet,
so.
this is the time we had. If I could, I would spend hours and hours asking more and more. But alas, your last 15 seconds, anything you want to share? Anything you want to say before we go?
I just wanted to say thank you, because this is definitely an interview that was a really nice surprise. And
No,
I
thank you.
appreciate you considering Windstar and bringing us and highlighting our company, our beautiful, wonderful product that we have, and
Yeah.
talking about cruising. So we do appreciate the opportunity to use your
No, come
platform
on.
to talk about our
Come on.
brand.
I'm the one who appreciating knowing all of this. And everybody who's watching, please, let's make sure that we hit the sales quota of Janet by booking as much as we can. Let's all book together a cruise. Let's do a SEO digital marketing cruise with
Hmm.
Windstar, because I'm pretty sure everybody is closing the tab right now thinking to themselves, I need to see Windstar
Yeah, well,
in
they either
person.
need to work for Windstar, or they can come and sail with us. Either or, right? I think you have people
Both
that,
work.
I hope we're inspiring people to either come and work for us, or come and sail with us.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Janet, you are the best. Thank you so much for being
Oh,
here with
thank
us. I do hope to see you in the future. And just a quick spoiler for everybody, we will be highlighting everything in terms of what Janet does in the description, but we're also going to do a special LinkedIn post, Instagram post about it, because again, this is not only a nice product, but we're talking about a nice market, and this is rare. Usually, you have people struggling a lot just to make money, but what I'm seeing right here is making money while being happy at the same time.
you. Yes,
And that's so much fortune for you, Janet. Thank you so
absolutely. I feel
much.
very blessed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll see each other soon enough. For everybody else, this has been Victor with the Coffee with Experts. Talk to you soon, Janet. Goodbye. Thank you so much, everybody.